What's happening, lads? Welcome back to the channel. We have new Make Them Suffer, and it feels like we've been really just we've been drip fed these singles at this point. We had Doom Switch, we had Ghost of Me, and then we have Epitaph, and it feels like we're getting one a year at this point. Hunger is the best sauce. I know this is not, we're not talking about food here, but kind of the same thing, you know, when you're deprived of something for so long and then you get it and it's good, it feels even better. So it's kind of like the same logic applied to how Make Them Suffer have been releasing. It feels like this band has just gotten so much bigger over the past like year and a half since Doom Switch came out. And I think, you know, the fact that they are sparsely releasing singles and they're also good songs is really helping them to just like blow up, even though they're not actually releasing anything. So it's kind of weird. They're like blowing up, but also not doing anything. So they've got to be doing something right. But they have a new single. I've managed to avoid all spoilers. Usually I'll find a way to like see a thumbnail or a title or something on my Discord, but I've managed to avoid all that, so I'm happy. So without any further ado, we're going to jump in. I'll give all my thoughts about the releases that we've had so far and where I think this band is going and my thoughts on their discography and all that fun stuff we'll talk about at the end. Leave a like in the video, make sure you're subbed. Let's go. Let's go. Epitaph. Is this Sharp Tone and Epitaph having beef here? I don't know. Is this some like subliminal messaging? Seems like a banger chorus. Give it a few more listens. Let's see how it hits in the second one around. That intro verse was fucking very energetic, very busy. I couldn't really figure out what was happening. Okay, so I listened to the song like once or twice more just to get an idea on Spotify to see if I was just tripping or whatever. But we'll touch on that sort of thing in a minute. But overall, the track is definitely the single so far as a single rollout for an album whenever they decide to give us a release date has been pretty varied, you know. I think this is definitely the heaviest track of the 3 we've gotten so far. So Doom Switch was a great first single off of an album cycle, and then Ghost of Me, I feel like having heard Doom Switch and Doom Switch feeling so unique to me, Ghost of Me felt still pretty cool. And to be honest, the more times I've listened to it, and now that I look back on it in hindsight, like it's 10 months old now, great fucking song. But at the time it just felt a little bit too in the same vein as Doom Switch, and hearing this kind of gives me a little bit more hope that it won't be like this formula that they just use for all of their songs, because I thought that was pretty different. That was pretty fucking sick. Again, I'm not too versed on their discography. I've heard 2 of their full albums, and I've heard all of their singles that they've released on this album cycle, but the 2 albums that I did listen to were in the like metalcore era, because I know their original phase was like deathcore. So this to me felt like a nice blend of what seems to be their kind of middle ground of sound with the metalcore style that I've listened to the 2 albums of that I wasn't the biggest fan of. Their earlier days with, you know, the deathcore stuff, like one of my favorite tracks by these guys is Hollowed Heart. Just a fucking sick song. The energy that these guys bring with the riffs is insane. So this like progression feels like a very natural move forward. It feels very like almost, I won't say the same as Northlane, but to me Northlane are the band that has done this the best across the entirety of the metalcore genre from the bands that I'm familiar with, in terms of like taking their original sound and progressing it, and the progressions making sense and not being like so jarring that you lose half of your fan base. I know some people don't like Northlane's newer stuff, but I think for the most part most people will agree that, you know, their entire discography has progressed pretty fucking well and made sense. It's not been this big like jarring change. And I think Make Them Suffer are up there in, I would put them in the same ballpark as like keeping that original sound that some people may have loved from years ago with their deathcore stuff. Those fucking intense riffs, that energy is just very deathcore to me. The vocals, of course, from Sean. But they've glossing it up, you know. Bringing Alex on board I think was a great play. She's got a fucking great style for the music itself. And then they've got like that, you know, very EDM style synth. They've got a lot of like creative stuff going on there. Like we had the bongo drum. Sometimes bands just do shit and you don't realize that you needed that until it happens. And you're like, do you know what? That's a fucking great idea. Why aren't more bands doing that? Just little like haunted house style synth at the start, and then the bongo drums playing in the back, which kind of teed you up for the absolute train of a riff that came in. Now, I will say that first listen and second listen, I do feel like, just for the way I'm listening to it, I really like the guitars, especially for a riff that fucking sick and that energetic, to be a little bit more prominent. I felt like it was very busy, and I don't know if necessarily it was a production thing, but it was just so busy that I lost the riffs in certain parts. It was like very muddy in parts because there was just so much happening. But I don't know if that was like an intentional play, because I think the production on the last 2 tracks has been absolutely flawless. But chorus is an absolute, I was about to say eargasm, an earworm. Definitely something that's going to be stuck in my head. Don't think it grabbed me as much as Doom Switch did. I think Doom Switch is still the superior chorus. Ghost of Me was a pretty sick chorus as well, and just a generally creative song. But this one was a little bit more tame, I think, in terms of that like overall progression into that EDM space. Obviously we still had like those, you know, very obvious synths in there, but this one was definitely more of a like hard hitting heavy track, but it still kept it pretty grounded and I guess a little bit away from that potentially monotone sound if we didn't have that huge big chorus with Alex coming in. So yeah, I think that was a pretty fucking sick song. I don't know where that like stands. I'd have to go back and listen to the 2 other tracks again a couple of times to see where it stands, but probably my least favorite. But also I've enjoyed all the singles, so it's not saying much to say it's my least favorite. I think they've all been pretty fucking solid, and I am excited to check out an album eventually when these guys drop, because like I said, from the 2 albums I've heard from them in the past, I haven't been the biggest fan of, but I think the direction they're going in is definitely going to suit my tastes a lot more. But overall, sick bands, sick music video. You know, their videos have always been sick as well. I would give that an 8.3 out of 10. I thought that was fantastic. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Also, if you want to check out the other albums I've checked out from these guys, it's all on Patreon. And yeah, that's all for me. Thank you so much for watching. I'm signing out. Look after yourselves. See you in the next one. Cheers.